We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWit, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2131. Today, Jill and I are talking about how technology is changing the future of land investing. I did not write this title. If I did write it, this is what it would be.
Oh.
How technology is always, ever, and always will be ever present changing the future of land investing.
Like it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Boy, I mean, in a few minutes, Jill and I are going to talk about when we started, the technology that was available to us, and how we made decisions about sending mail and analyzing the properties when they came back. And boy, if you think we're old now, wait about
Thanks a lot.
For a few minutes. You're going to realize Grandma and Grandpa here.
Oh, thanks.
This week, all week, Jill and I it's Land Research Week.
Wait a minute. I don't think I'm going to go with Grandma. Someday when we have kids, I don't think I'm going to go with that name. What are you going to go with? Have you thought about it?
This is a good point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not going to be Grandma.
The old guy over there.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
What's wrong with him? He's done. He's lost faith in humanity.
Let's see here. Well, yeah, I do know. You know, it's funny. It's fun. Along those lines, I do know some people that they call their grandpa grumpy. He was just grumpy. That was his. I don't know. Grandma and grumpy. That was them. I don't think we should be grandma and grumpy. And I don't know if Pop's a good one.
Here's my theory about why old people behave how they do.
Okay.
They've had, so a person who's 30 years old or 20 years old has had X, this is a data description, X amount of experiences. A person who's 30 years old has had Y amount. If they're a salesperson, they've had way more than that, as Y plus something. And 40 years old, Z. And then 50. And so that the person who's 60 years old or 70 years old, has had so much more experience and so many more opportunities to be let down and disappointed and angry about stuff than a 20-year-old. 20-year-old still running around saying, are you kidding me? I can smash this. I'm awesome. 7-year-old's running around saying, yeah, I tried that. And I was let down 42,000 times.
Oh my gosh.
This is why Jill and I do well together, because her glass is half full and mine's half empty. Mm-hmm. That's
okay. I wasn't half paying attention anyway. I'm still thinking about my name.
What is it?
Okay, here's what I kind of might go with this one. So my mom wanted to be grandmom, right? So that got smushed together, and so she's Gum. So maybe I could be Gum 2.0. Is that a good one? No. All right, I got to figure out something.
You were throwing identity, and you and your mom are not very similar.
I'm not a Meemaw. I know that one. No, there's going to be a name. All right, we'll figure it out.
How about Grandpa Jack? I'm good with that.
Oh, Grandpa Jack? Grandma Jill? Yeah, I know. It doesn't have a good ring to it. I'll get it.
You have a long time to figure it out.
I do. No one is anywhere close.
Are not interested in reproducing at this time.
Exactly. Or any time in the near future.
I don't know if that's a win for us or not. I see it as a huge win.
I do.
If they're out just kicking babies out of, I would be concerned about that.
And it would be expensive. This is actually nice.
And kind of irresponsible.
Look at all the toys we have, because we don't have to buy any grandkids anything.
This is awful. I'm going to stop talking about this.
It's true.
Let's talk about data or something.
All right, back to the topic.
Each day on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum and take a deep dive into land-related topics by popular request.
All right, Wes wrote, hello, I'm still going through version 3.0 of the Land Academy program. My plan is to do the work manually for 2 to 3 deals just to ensure I know the nuts and bolts. However, my experiences as a technologist engineer, so my data engineering brain wants to automate much of the trolling and lookup aspects of this. It's not the best use of my time, however, so I will refrain. But I'm curious if the Land Academy community knows or has created tools or automations to help make this process faster, getting the good data, finding zip codes that work within the red, yellow, green test. With AI advance, I imagine this should be very doable, even manipulating a few Excel files together.
I love
I do
this question.
Yeah.
My job at Land Academy, not my real job. My real job is to buy and sell land and keep Jill happy, which takes about 90 hours a week, all that.
Oh, no. 89 goes to land.
I just wanted to see if
You
you're
do
listening.
the math.
Jill listens about half the time during the show.
Yep.
She listens 100% of the time while she's talking and about 1% of the time while I'm talking.
That's true.
My job in Land Academy as an instructor and hopefully a positive influence on people who want to buy and sell land and generally become entrepreneurs is to show you what's possible and show you how we do it. If after 2 or 3 deals, like Wes says here, it's making sense to you, you've made a little bit of money, you've tested the concept, prove the concept to yourself, I would heavily encourage you to start creating or using other tools out there that you think make this more efficient for you. And I can tell you that this is what we talk about a lot. And again, in Career Path, which is the mastermind group that Jill and I hold 1 or 2 times a year. There are people that are coming to us, just like Wes, that say, I did it. I'm on my 10th or 12th or 15th deal. I've cleared $800,000 doing this. Now I want to know how to make that 1.8 instead of 800. And our answer is, here's some technical ways to start automating things using VAs. And there's all kinds of other serious automated ways. If you're in this industry at all, spreadsheets are a great mechanical way to figure things out with serious limits. If you're doing any type of spreadsheet work at all, you're going to have to figure out how to create and implement your own relational database. And so that's just a real simple example of what Wes is talking about here. But you got to do the hard work in the beginning. You got to learn how to drive a stick before you can truly enjoy an automatic transmission.
I tell people to do exactly what Wes is doing. Like as you're starting this whole journey and creating your own little company or whatever you want, however you want to take this, I always think about already start with figuring out ways to replace yourself and create your own little SOP. So this, I think, was what Wes is going to be doing as you go anyway. Yeah, you're going through the system and you're already going, okay, next time I'm going to do this, next time I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this. And create procedures and all of that. So when you get to the end, like Jack was saying, you've done this many deals, you go back and go, this is the stuff I'm good at. This is what I like to do. This is where I suck. I'm going to hire that out, hire this out. And you already have a blueprint for them.
Like all businesses, in the end, your full-time job should be decision-making, delegating things that happen to people that you're working with, or in our case, usually it's outsourced sources, outsourced labor. And so you shouldn't be actually doing any of the work, but that's way down the road, way down the road after you understand the whole thing. We also have a product that Jill and I don't talk about very often called LA Pro, Land Academy Pro, where we do everything for you. Why? Not Jill and I, our staff. Our staff's sitting there doing this stuff for us anyway. So we allow you to utilize our staff within reason to do your mailer, to complete the acquisition side and the sell side of the transaction, certain parts of it. And so you don't have to go out and get your own staff. You can use ours. Mm-hmm. And so if you have questions about that, ask support at landacademy.com. It's not really published. It's only been a year old. We have a bunch of people in it that I'm sure now will never leave.
Correct.
I mean, they kind of, once you use our team, geez, our team has gray hair. They're not, they've been with us for years. A lot of deals under their belt.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Today's topic, how technology is changing the future of land investing. When I started in this, think about this. When I started this was before Google, or it was before Google was a household word, which means it was before Google Earth. In its infant stages, it was called Keyhole, and eventually Google purchased them and renamed it Google Earth. We couldn't find property online, so we would have to use a legal description, order a plat map. We would send a check into the county. They would cash the check and send us in the mail a plat map. From that plat map, we would go over to a wall of atlases that we had and look up the legal description to find the location of the property. if there were roads and stuff in those maps, which are constantly aging, then we said, yeah, it's got access, or we think it's got access. We think it's there. I'm not sure. And we think it's got access. We would call the county, see if there's any back taxes on it. We had a whole list of stuff to do. Now, fast forward to today. All of that, what we just described, takes maybe 30 seconds, maybe 15 seconds, while Jill's on the phone with the seller saying, wow, looks good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll do the deal.
Isn't that amazing? What a relief. I know people that have thought they missed the boat. They're like, oh, I missed it doing it back when you guys were. Hey, there's pros and cons to everything. I'll tell you, this due diligence phase and finding property like you just talked about now is just mind-boggling how easy and fast it is now. I would spend hours sometimes trying to find a property.
You want to shock yourself?
Yeah.
Pull up whatever you are using for AI.
Yeah.
And ask it as something like, what's the best value for my money when I want to buy a house in Alabama? And watch what the response is.
That's cool.
That's just the beginning. We are in the top of the first inning with AI.
Mm-hmm. When I thought about this topic, I wrote down a pro and I wrote down a con. I was thinking about that. So it's happening. It's here. Jack just did a great job describing of what it was like back then. And I know you have a lot more examples of, things that have changed a lot.
Rooted in pain.
For the better. But yeah, so I'm thinking of like, okay, so it's here. This is it. So what are the pros? Well, like what you just talked about for me is a pro and a positive. And it's basically technology has made it so easy for us to not only find the property, but I can check out with these overlays. I can see elevation. I can see flood issues. I can even see fire issues. I don't know if it was amazingly, shockingly fast how quickly our data source is Data Tree, First American Title's data company. And within probably, it was either somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks of the fires in California, they already had an overlay on their maps. So when I looked at each individual property, it would tell me the percentage of what had been the damage. And it would be like less than 8%, less than 50%, more than 50%, meaning destroyed. So I can, I feel so sorry and I'm so sad for those people that lost their homes and everything in Southern California, these terrible fires. But technology has made it so nice that we can, get a gauge of what's going on and see that. So like I said, these overlays, these images is amazing. So those are pros to have that at our fingertips. Now here's a con. I thought about this. This has, unfortunately, I think created a lot of lazy people that are now constantly looking for easy buttons, and they don't know to basically double check the work just to make sure. And then what the result happens is they're overpricing mailers. That's one of the things that happens in our industry a lot. People look at easy buttons. They're like, oh, I can just download a list. It's already priced for me at whatever. And then stuff goes out because they don't know what on behind it or who that person was, where the list come, or, how old it is, or how they even put the data together. And I know a lot of people that it's resulted in overpriced mailers. So they've overspent on properties and then they've lost money. So that's a con.
Technology Jill's exactly right. Technology has created a culture. Yeah. And the younger you are, this is with every generation. It's not just this generation. It's not our generation. It's not our parents or our grandparents. It's every generation thinks that they are smarter than the older generation. And the tool and what's fueling that for these young generations now is technology. And it fueled me too. The reason that I was so incredibly successful in putting all this stuff together when I was younger is because I was the only guy in the office who had a computer on my desk. Everybody else was, that's just a fad. Those computers are going to go away. You're wasting your time. Well, they didn't go away. This generation, fast forward to now, thinks that every single solution to every single problem is in an app or in an easy button, and that people with a little bit of gray hair like me don't get it.
Yeah.
And that's really too bad, because I do get it. But, you as a young person might have a better way to do it. And boy, I'm listening. So Jill's right. There's pros and cons to this. Mm-hmm. Like it or not, unless you have enough money to stick your middle finger up to the world, which I'm working on, you're going to embrace technology or it's going to eat you alive.
Off air, will you just let me know how close you are to that goal?
It's the truth time is where Jill and I are long past
That's
that. We do this because we enjoy it.
Exactly.
Plus, I can say stuff like I just said with no real, implication.
Recourse. That's good.
Join us tomorrow where we discuss why research is the backbone of successful land investing. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
We are Jack and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you found our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.